Hi everyone, Kim Backenstos, Soul Moxie Musings. The message I am going to read today I received on March 22nd, 2023, and it is titled Step Out of the Boat. As always, the messages here are timeless. Divine timing is in play. So when you hear them is when you were meant to hear them. Again, step out of the boat. Individuality. Being true to yourself in individuality is what matters more than whether others understand your lifestyle and choices. What matters is whether the choices that you've made reflect your own personal values, your own individuality. When seeking answers to who you are, have you ever been asked, what are you passionate about? When people seek to find out what their life path and life mission is, many times that question is asked. Most claim they don't know. What if it's too big of a question as a starting point? Passion, after all, is an intense emotion. What if instead I simply asked you, what has meaning for you? By asking a question that pulls in smaller emotions, it puts a different depth on the question. It's more relatable. When you think of it in terms of what has meaning for you, what gives you the warm fuzzies, what gives you a sense of deep satisfaction, it bubbles up many emotions: happiness, joy, fulfillment, love, inspiration, and yes, maybe even passion. It could be helping others, but helping others in what way? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, seen, unseen? It could be organizing something. Organizing something in what way? Organizing events, organizing people, organizing closets. If you don't take the time to reflect upon the things that really, really have meaning to you, how can you even know who you are as an individual? It is the answer to that question that will give you the greatest insight on who you are as an individual, your values, the things you hold dear. Once you have that list and focus on that list, make everything you do about the things on the list. The distractions brought on by the devil will not deter you from that list. It is when we don't have a firm understanding of what our values are as an individual that the devil distracts and moves you according to the values of the world, the values of others, the values that will not have any meaning to you on a deep level. Values that may go completely against the values that are yours, the things that have deep meaning to you, the things that you are passionate about. If you don't know what your individual values are, what is important to you, what has meaning to you, then this is your starting point. Pause and reflect upon that. Journal about that. Give some quality time to percolate up into your soul. You may not even need a lot of time to create your list. We all certainly know what has meaning to us individually. Once you start hitting on those things and pulling those things that have meaning to you out of your soul, then you will find your individuality, because it is those things that call to you, those things that satisfy you, those things that fulfill you. which is where you will find your life's purpose, where you find and get to know who you are and what you stand for. This is your individuality. This is why, even when you have a mentor or someone that you admire, someone you want to be like, replicate some of the things that they're doing, it's okay. It's okay because you still need to pull your own values, your own individuality into it. We are all different. God created us that way for a reason. If you don't know who you are at your core level, at your deepest values, how do you know how much you have to offer the world? How can you see the unique and individual beauty in yourself? How can you see the unique and individual beauty in other things around you when you can't see or don't know the unique and individual beauty of that is you? By knowing and focusing on what has meaning to you helps identify the distractions when they come, and they will come. The distractions of the world are the devil trying to pull you off of your game and deceive you into believing that the values of others are more important than your individual values. These distractions place a shadow over the very values that make you, you. They shadow and mask who you are at your core. This can become a shadow that is so dark that you can't see your values anymore. They make you question them and suppress your ability to tap into those values. You lose sight of your individuality. You lose sight of the importance of your individuality. You lose sight of the power of your individuality. This is what the devil wants, to pull you off of those things that have deep meaning to you. Because if you tap into the things that have deep meaning to you and you stay rooted in those things, you place restrictions on the devil. You shut the devil down. By staying focused on what has deep meaning to you, you take the restrictions off God and the universe, allowing you in to your destiny, your life purpose, your fulfillment. One of the things that God has shown me repeatedly is the power that we have increases when you love yourself enough to be open and forthright with others. Don't hide the challenges that you've faced in life. Don't be ashamed of the failures that you've had in life. It is because of those challenges, because of those failures, that has allowed God to pick you up, to strengthen you, to create the individual that you are. Because of those challenges and those failures, you have been strengthened, prepared, and equipped to step into your own individual power and hold that power on the things that matter to you. Don't be ashamed of the lessons and gifts given to you along the way. Bask in them. Find glory in them. Never, ever be ashamed of them. The world we are in today is filled with the distractions of the devil. The distractions of what the world says we should be. Our values, we are told, are selfish, wrong, racist, weird, not normal, etc. They are your values, your individuality. No one else gets to decide what they are or who you are. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. The meaning of your values and your individuality will shine from you from your very soul. Just be willing to embrace and share with the world what has meaning to you in your own individual way leads you down the pathway to divine success, divine fulfillment, divine you. Divine everything lays down at your feet, creating a path that leads directly to God. It feeds your soul on a level that can't be described. Once you step into that path of faith, once you start recognizing the confirmations you receive from God, confirmations that feed your very soul, that gives you fulfillment, and that in turn makes you even stronger. You will have no doubt that you are on the right path. It all starts with finding and stepping into your individuality. This is why there is no competition in the world for what you do. It explains why we don't all buy the same car, wear the same clothes, gravitate towards the same people. It explains why certain people just aren't your cup of tea, and that's okay. That is your individuality. That is your uniqueness. No one else can script it for you. No one else can create what your life purpose looks like. No one else can paint that picture for you. If you asked 100 people to paint a picture, one with sunflowers in it, you would get 100 different pictures. That's individuality. The devil wants you distracted from your individuality. He wants you distracted to the point of overwhelm, because distraction is destruction. It is destruction of your hopes, your dreams, your individuality, your purpose, your mission, your spirit. Have the courage to ask the tough questions and explore what has meaning to you. Then have the courage to step out in faith. God is waiting for you to take that step. He is here to guide you, to strengthen you. Have the courage to live as your true self. Make the choices that honor the values that you have. What has meaning to you? The devil distracts by deceiving you into questioning those things that are unique to you, deceiving you into believing that he holds the power, deceiving you from a place of fear. Ignore the distractions that are bringing fear. Give those to God. Ignore the distractions that are telling you you're not worthy or not enough. Give those to God too. It is your divine birthright to honor those values that feel right to you, to honor those values that feed your soul, that excite you in your spirit, that inspire you in your mind, that moves you in your heart space, that awakens everything in your body. That's how we discover who we are and why we're here. There is a reason God created us all different. There is a reason why we all have unique DNA, unique fingerprints. That should be our very first clue. You're special. You're unique. Have the courage to step into your individuality. Have the courage not to back down from your individuality when the distractions of shadow come, and they will come. But shadow, the devil, has no power over you unless you give it to him. We have been given dominion over everything on this earth, and that includes the devil. Believe in yourself, believe in your instincts, believe in your intuition, that is your connection to God. Start seeing yourself as he sees you, beautiful, unique, individual. you. The grand gesture. The grand gesture is the big step. It is the willingness to say to God and the universe, I trust you. I know it's time for life as I've been doing it to shift. It's time for me to step into my individuality. It's time for me to step into the things that have meaning to me. The grand gesture cannot be forced. It has to come from a willingness, from within, from that place of surrender. Surrender to self, surrender to the ways of the world, surrender ultimately to God. It happens when you step into your individual power, your mission, your purpose, those things that have meaning to you. It cannot come from a place of, well, I should, or I'm really not sure. If you are feeling those things, then this is where you need to use discernment, your intuition. Ask yourself, are these distractions or doubts from you, or are they from fear? All things that are fear come from the devil. Surrender that to God. Step out in faith. But if deep down in your gut, your intuition, you're just uncertain, then perhaps you're not ready yet for the grand gesture. It is something you offer freely, not from what you can get in return. And don't get me wrong, the rewards may be rich, but because you are willing to offer something of yourself, your individuality, in service to love and to the greater good, the grand gesture may just be the trigger for divine grace to express itself and open up and pour out in your life, surpassing all expectations you had. There is time for small steps, and there is time for the grand gesture. Only you know when those times are. The small steps are the building blocks that lead up to the culmination of the grand gesture. The grand gesture is the knowledge of who you are, stepping into your individuality and holding firm to that in the face of distractions and diversity. God and the universe will send confirmations that will build you up in your power so that when the devil sends distractions, you can flick him off your shoulder and say, not today. It's you throwing down the gauntlet that opens up the floodgates of the universe and God to gift you and reward you for coming from that place of individuality, fulfilling that mission that only you can fulfill. Only you. If you've made leaps in the past and fell flat on your face rather than landing gracefully on your feet, let that go. Give it to God. Look at those experiences and see what learnings you have from them. It is the learnings from the challenges and difficulties that have prepared us for a successful mission. These learnings you have from life prepared you for your grand gesture. They have given you the tools, forged those tools into steel that has the strength to stand up to the distractions that the devil throws your way, to bat them down like the annoying gnat that he is. Take those learnings and know that you are stronger and wiser. You are ready for the beautiful adventure that's in store for you. The grand gesture is that moment when Peter said to Jesus amidst the storm, Master, is that you? Tell me to come to you. Peter had to make the grand gesture. The grand gesture was stepping out of the boat. The miracle couldn't have happened if Peter didn't make the grand gesture. There are so many examples of this in the Bible. Daniel, Esther, David, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the Israelites at the edge of the Red Sea, if they wouldn't have stepped into their individuality and made the grand gesture, those miracles couldn't have happened. God couldn't have shown his grace, his mercy, his love. Couldn't prove to us just how strong we are when we stand in him. Stepping into your power means taking a leap of faith into the grand gesture, using your individuality, stepping out in faith in God. You want to become great? You want to become a disciple of the Lord? You want to fill your life's purpose? You want that? Then there's a grand gesture involved. God will meet you more than halfway, but the first step is ours. Step out of the boat. Thank you for listening today, and I hope this message blesses you whenever it finds its way to you. Much love, light, and laughter. Till next time.